Hi, Jeremy the Tall Trainer here, and I wanted to go over one of my favorite abdominal exercises. Now this is one of the few crunches that I'll actually have people do, and those of you who don't know, crunches oftentimes are really bad for our back. A lot of excessive forward bending when people are doing thousands of repetitions of these standard sit-ups, really not so good for our back. Because it's requiring too much bending, too much force in that forward bending, which we already do too much of sitting at our computers and sitting in our cars and things like that. But this exercise is a little bit of a crunch, but it's a very small movement, and man, you can feel those abs like crazy. So I'm going to show it to you. I use an exercise ball to do this exercise. What you're going to do is you're going to sit on the ball. This is a pretty low one, not aired up a ton. But exactly the size of the ball doesn't make it too big an issue, or exactly how much air it up. It'll work pretty good no matter what. You're going to roll out just a little bit so that your head and shoulders are still hanging off the ball there. So we're not going to roll so far down that your shoulders are resting on the ball, and certainly not so far that your head is resting on the ball. But you're going to roll out just a little bit so those head and shoulders are still hanging. You want to almost be where you feel like you're going to fall back on your head, but you're not quite. So you're not quite going to fall back on your head. And what I want you to do is try a narrower base. So the narrower you go with the base here, the more it creates a little instability, and you start squeezing those abs a bit more as you're doing this exercise. So you go for a narrow base. The feet are underneath the knees. A lot of times we'll have the feet out here. Don't do that. Bring the feet underneath the knees. Lift the tailbone up. Pull those stomach muscles in. We're going to look up towards the ceiling as we're doing this. Up towards the ceiling there. And then I want you to actually put your hands on your stomach unless your neck is so tired that you need a little support. But other than that, keep your hands on the stomach. And what I want you to feel is that little stretch and that squeeze. A little bit of a stretch, a little bit of squeeze there. Moving really slowly. So this is not good. It's right in here, stretch and squeeze. And it's not powered by the head. I'm not throwing my head into this. I'm squeezing right from my midsection. So if you want to think about putting your thumbs on your ribs and your pinkies on your hips there, you just feel a little bit of motion in there. A little bit of squeeze. I'm going to go a little closer with my feet. It'll make me do it even better. So right in there, just that small little movement, pressing that lower back into the ball, pulling those abs in. When I do this one, and I do a good job at it, is I really feel like the great pull in of these exercises. And the more I do exercises that require me to pull my abdominals in, well, the more they tend to stay in. And I kind of like that, and I'm not sure if you're the same as me in that regard, but I imagine you might like your abs to pull in also. So this is a pretty good exercise to really get things going in the abs. I recommend only about 20 repetitions. Most people will be able to get plenty in that amount of time. If you're really good, you might be able to get 30. If 20 and 30 repetitions is too easy, you're like, this Jeremy guy is whack, he doesn't understand, you're probably doing the exercise wrong. You're missing out on something. So double check and see if you can really make 20 repetitions a lot more challenging, because I have fairly strong abs, and 20 repetitions is a good challenge for me. So, give that one a shot, and yeah, I guess that's it. So this is Jeremy Biernatt saying, have fun and be safe.